Thanks to HelloFresh.com for supporting this episode of Convert to Raid. And if you use the code RAID30 at checkout, you'll get $30 off your first week of deliveries. That's $30 off by using the offer code RAID30 when you visit HelloFresh.com. Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, BlizzCon hype reaches critical levels. Look out as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News. Hello, everyone. From the Battlenet News broadcast bunker in Minneapolis, Minnesota, today is September 14th, 2017, and it is now 10:07 p.m. It's a Thursday, and we're doing a show. Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much for joining us from all around the Blizzard universe, and hello, my name is Pat Crane. I am your host with the most. Not really. And yes, all of the players are here. Let's get to them. From Lords of the Storm, a podcast about Heroes of the Storm, it's Gizmo! Hey, buddy.
Day. Tuesday and Thursday, I guess.
What's that?
Happy day.
Your mic is a little low. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I don't know exactly what's going on. But it is Thirsty Thursday, so drink up. I don't know. Anyway. Well, I guess we'll come back to you. And from not anywhere near her home, and from Tauren Think Tank, it's Jules Scott, everybody.
Hi, guys. I'm here in the wilds of Monroe Township, New Jersey, visiting my family.
Monroe Township.
Yes, and sitting in my parents' my lovely dining room, and
trying to be quiet.
Trying to be quiet.
It won't last.
It won't last on this show.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here, though.
Good. Well, welcome. And from Canada, and from a bunch of Blizzard podcasts, including The Angry Chicken and For Azeroth and The Gamers Inn, it is Jocelyn Moffett. Hello, Joss.
Hi, guys.
Nice to see you.
Oh, it's so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and I know that we talked about this a while ago. We were hanging out in Utah together, and I'm like, we really need to have you on the show. So I'm glad
I can't believe it's taken this long.
Well, it's mostly my fault, I'm sure. Probably. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the chat room. Welcome to you guys from around the world of Warcraft and beyond to the show. We do have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and that's why we're doing a show on Thursday. We had to miss Tuesday because my sister came to town and totally wrecked my schedule. So it happens. It totally happens. But we're here.
Family.
Thanks, family. And I was talking about it before the show, and I'm like, yeah, my schedule is not my own, but that's all right. Why don't we go around the room and kind of talk to you guys about what you guys have been up to this last week. Joss, let's start with you since you're our featured guest. We'll say it that way. Yeah. So you play a lot of Hearthstone.
I do.
You play a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, I know.
Yes.
And you play some World of Warcrafts.
That I do.
And are you raiding in World of Warcrafts?
I am. We obviously. I think this is probably why I haven't been on the show before. Spoiler alert, guys! I play for the Dirty Horde.
Yeah, that's reason number one. Yep.
So yeah, we have our guild AIE, which I'm sure most listeners are familiar with. We have a heroic raid team over there called Get Your Crit Together. So we are almost done heroic tomb. So
awesome. That's great. And then for Hearthstone, what's your rank? What's your rank right now?
Oh God, I'm not even sure.
People are going to judge you.
I know. Well, the thing is, here's where the excuses start.
Sure.
But right now we're right in the middle of like Heroes of Druidstone, and it's not all that fun. So I keep logging in and playing a couple of games, and I'm either playing as Druid or I'm playing against Druid, and I get a couple wins, and I go, I'm gonna go play some Heroes.
Right, and
because Heroes of the Storm is freaking amazing right now.
And they do have some changes on the way for Hearthstone. I know we talked about it a little bit last week. Just a couple of different cards, those overpowered cards, especially for Druid and like the War Axe for Warrior and stuff like that. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So there is hope, right?
Yes, there is hope.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Did you break the overlay, Pat?
I did. I totally broke the overlay. Sorry to the video people. My bad. And now, Jules.
Yes.
Let's go to you. What is your gaming life been consisting of lately?
Heroes of the Storm, man, is so much fun. Oh my gosh, Stukov has been my boy. And so Jocelyn and I play every other Tuesday. We stream with our friend Nevermore from our other show that we do called Slaying Demons, and we will just stream Heroes for a couple of hours. And that's all I play right now is Stukov because I can just own, and then I get MVP, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing another character.
So you just push people across the map, and then you're done.
You know what? It's the big flailing swipe that's the best for me. Like, get out of my friend's face. Don't hurt my friends. But I usually get like on the top of the screen for silence time because I don't know what it is. I'm able to get the silences down. Like it's so much fun. I love Stukov. I want to play him all the time. And then, of course, I'll jump into Overwatch and I will play some deathmatch, which is always a blast. So, that's what I've been playing recently when I have time and I'm not traveling around the country.
You've got the silences down. Is that why you're so quiet right now? You're trying to.
Are you like we should all do like whisper Jules voices?
I think we should. I think we should loudly whisper so that we don't
happy tree.
Wake up. Is
this your way of telling me to get closer to the microphone again?
This is the way that we won't wake up the entire suburb of New Jersey. So, yes.
Well, you know how loud my voice can get. I'm trying to keep it back.
I do. Hey, Giz, what have you been up to lately?
Oh, I have been up to a lot. Is my mic better?
Yes.
It's a little bit better.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I first want to start by saying we, of course, need to keep having Jules on, and we also need more Joss now because two girls after my own heart, Heroes of the Storm. I don't have to fight John on this week.
No, you don't.
It's fantastic. Just all the Heroes of the Storm love.
Yes.
But, of course, I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm, getting some KT time in, not Kel'Thas, Kel'Thuzad. And I did something I promised myself I wasn't going to do, and that is after purchasing Destiny 2 on PC, I couldn't wait, and I also got it on console.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Although I was able to just keep myself from getting the base version, not for the expansions, anything like that.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it's on PC, that's all it'll be. But yeah, Heroes of the Storm, I'm getting back into Overwatch some more. And Hearthstone as well, but I'm kind of sitting out while the Jade Druid stuff's going on.
So now I'm kind of out of the loop because this whole week has been about family for me. So I'm kind of like, I'm discombobulated a little bit. What is the date that Destiny 2 is coming out? Do we know for PC?
October 26th
so we've got
28th,
I think
something
it's
like
the weekend
that.
right before Halloween.
Well, it's the week before BlizzCon, right?
Yes.
So you get a week before BlizzCon, and then you go to BlizzCon, and then there's no Destiny 2 there, and you're like, "What's going on, Blizz?" And then they're like, "Well, it's not actually a Blizzard game."
Technicality.
Right. It's on the launcher. Come on. You should be at the show. You've got a bigger arena now and everything like that. You should include Destiny 2. Why not? And speaking of which, we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to BlizzCon stuff. A lot of stuff happened this week.
Yes.
Lots of stuff. I do want to bring this up, however. One of the big things that happened this week with me. I mean, I'm playing, WoW. I'm playing a little bit of Overwatch here and there. I'm playing a lot of Hearthstone lately because I don't know. It's just It's just really easy to do when you just need like a match. You want a match. You want to go to Hearthstone.
It's very get in, get out. Yeah, you can be real quick if you just have like 10, 15 minutes of time.
Yeah. But of course, it takes me far longer to get all my quests done because I can't beat a druid. So I feel you on that one, Joss. The other thing that I did this last week was I asked people what their favorite Blizzard joke was. Because I'm like, I need a laugh. I need a good laugh. I need to figure out what good Blizzard jokes are. And so it was actually kind of immediate and like ongoing, the response that I got from Twitter on this stuff. And I just want to know, do you guys have a favorite Blizzard joke? And it could be, most of these are WoW that I got back, but I mean, it could be Overwatch or Heroes of the Storm or whatever. Let's see. Jules, do you have a favorite Blizzard joke?
This one I think is going to be my favorite from now on because I just think it's hilarious.
Oh boy.
Okay, you ready?
No. Let me brace myself for the awful.
Buckle in, boys and girls. Buckle in. Why is Lucio not allowed in the produce section?
Why is Lucio not allowed in the produce section?
He's always dropping beats.
I feel like this is going to be the theme of these jokes, like total dad jokes all the way. I love it.
Right. I love beats. All right. Jocelyn, do you have a favorite Blizzard joke?
All right. I found this one. It was super last minute. I think it's freaking hilarious. I hope you guys like it too. But
all right.
What do noobs and rogues have in common?
Uh-oh.
I know this one.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah. I'm letting the other guys. I'm letting the other guys do it though. Okay. So what do noobs and rogues have in common?
They both pick locks.
Oh
nice.
God.
Nice. That's a good one. Hey, chat room, if you guys have a favorite joke, please post it up. We'll
oh my gosh,
maybe
that's
say what it is.
hilariously bad.
Right.
That's good. That's good. Gizmo, do you have a favorite Blizzard joke?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine. It's WoW, but it's Heroes of the Storm themed as well, and that is, why was Kael'thas early to his meeting?
Why was Kael'thas early to his meeting?
The time was merely set back.
Boo. Boo.
Time was merely set back.
Boo. I don't like it. All right, so and then I had a whole bunch of people respond back, and I picked a handful of them, and I'll kind of read them out now. All right, but I want music, so I got the music from last week. Here we go. Okay, why does McCree like Reinhardt so much?
Why?
He's a fan of hammers. What do you call a rainstorm in Thunder Bluff? A torrential downpour. Torrential downpour. That was from M. Randall, or the M. Randall. This one is from Can't Heals on Twitter. What do you call a DPS tree druid? A combat log.
Oh no.
Yep.
That's actually really funny.
No. Use that one all the time. And from Stone over at Warcraft Stats. The key to 4-manning dungeons is to always include one Pandaren monk. Then it's a quarter panda with cheese. All right. And
Wow.
let's see. Son of Karn on Twitter says, what do you call a Tauren shaman during bloodlust? Thunder buff. From Gunmoku. Gunmoku says, what happens when you cast levitate on a Tauren? You raise the stakes. All right.
Oh God.
And from Zyal, what's a rogue's favorite drink? Subtlety. 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 And I have one too. And I know I ran out on the music. That's right. What's the code name for paladins in the SI7? 007.
Oh, Pat Crane.
Yes, it's true.
There's a good one from Hanny, the drunk in chat, and that is, how does a boomkin trim his nails?
How does? Oh, he clips them. He clips them. That's
all right,
it.
Hanny, you get that one. That's good.
That's all right. That's good. You get
Dork of the Week.
No, not really. I probably do on that one, but it's all good. It's all good. So those are some of the Blizz jokes. If you guys have a wonderful Blizz joke that you want to share or a terrible one that you want to make sure to share, you can either do it through Twitter at just tag us at ConvertToRaid or send it in to converttoraid@gmail.com. We might read more on the air next week. Who knows? Who knows? It's just kind of silly stuff like that. You weren't expecting that, were you?
Just slipped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. Let's continue. Because we do actually have a lot to talk about. And we have a lot of BlizzCon to talk about before we actually hit the news. Because I want to talk about BlizzCon. BlizzCon is kind of the news of the week, really. Right? So, BlizzCon, guys. Jules?
Yes.
We had a big announcement with the BlizzCon bag, right?
Yeah, they came out and did the unboxing, sent it out to a bunch of different personalities that did unboxing videos of the BlizzCon goodie bag. And so you get this year a backpack, which is a nice looking backpack. But they have on this panel on the front, it's this Velcro panel, which is really cool, with these there's 6 Velcro badges. I think that I don't know what they're made of, but you can stick them onto the bag with the Velcro backing, which is really freaking smart.
Right.
I think they have like embroidered.
Are they embroidered?
I think they are. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically they're like patches, but they have Velcro on the back. And then, so there's one for each game on there. And then you get, there's some blind figures as well. Go ahead.
You know what I did?
What?
I actually, so as soon as they said that it's gonna be okay, we have this Velcro backpack thing, and we have these patches that you can throw on there. I'm like going, there's only gonna be 6 patches, and how are we gonna tell our bag from somebody else's bag at the show, right? Because I'm going to the show, you guys are all going to the show, right? So we're all gonna have these backpacks, and so there's going to be 25,000 backpacks or whatever it's going to be. I don't know. Tons of backpacks. And only 6 badges to like denote which is yours. And so I went and I went on Amazon and I just kind of purchased a bunch of stuff. I purchased a Stormtrooper head. And that's
you
going to
really?
go on the back. Yeah. And I did like a little comic
that's fun.
blast thing, right? And then I got this one as well, and it's the poop emoji.
Of course you got the poop emoji.
Yeah, so now I'll be able to tell mine because it'll say, Stormtrooper, poop my pants, whatever it is. So...
Well, there's your show title right there.
There it is.
Stormtroopers
poop my pants. All right. But, I'm like, you got to be able to tell the difference between your pack and everybody else's, right?
Yeah, and so that whole thing. Plus, I should mention too, there were also 3. There's a backpack hanger figure, which is Overwatch. This whole thing is very Overwatch heavy. There's a Cupid Deadly Series 3 Overwatch figure that's a blind pack, so you get that as well. And then there's the 1 Series 4 Blizzard pin. There's 10 pins in the set. You get one of those. So we'll get into this when we talk about the virtual ticket, but there's going to be more stuff that you can get for your goodie bag if you choose to, which was news to us as of yesterday.
Right. And it is very Overwatch heavy. Joss, now I know that you don't necessarily play a lot of Overwatch. So how does this strike you?
Well, I mean, the thing is, at least Overwatch, and it's kind of true of all Blizzard games, but they have fantastic character design. So even though it's from a game that I don't play as often as other Blizzard titles, I still really want all this Overwatch swag because they just look so cool. So I'm kind of okay with it. I mean, I wish that there was a little bit more Hearthstone stuff, but The Velcro patches that you can get for your bag, there's also blind packs of those that you can buy too. And they have a lot of different, like they incorporate all the different games into those. So like, I think there's something like 25 Velcro patches you can get in total. Yeah. So there's like a Hearthstone card back, and there's a couple of other Hearthstone things that I'll probably try to trade for while I'm at the show. But there is some representation for the other games. But yeah, because the Cupid Deadly series is an Overwatch figure as well as the backpack hanger thing, it's very Overwatch heavy, but they're still really well designed, and I like those little pop figures, so I'm okay.
And I'm wondering if the trading place where you normally trade for the little I don't even know what they are.
Pins.
Yeah,
pin trading.
Pin trading. So the pin trading is going to become pin and patch trading for that weekend. And so,
which I'm totally okay with, because I did that for the first time last year, the pin trading thing. Oh my God, it was so much fun. I discovered it like right at the end of the con, and I had a great time. Okay. So I'm just like, yep, this is my thing now.
so lead me through the pin trading, because I'm not necessarily a pin trading guy. Never have. I've always walked by it and just gone, yeah, I don't get it. So what is it about the pin trading?
Well, I think it's just because I'm very much, even like in video games and stuff, I'm very much a completionist. So the idea that there is a set of something that I don't have all of kind of drives me nuts. So once I start collecting, and this is why I've been careful not to do it in the past, once I start collecting, I can't stop. So, but basically what you do is you get the little blind pin packages, and you open them all, and you can get, I think, like 10 for $20 or something. I can't remember exactly how much it costs. And then you line up in the pin trading line, and then you go up to this big, huge cork board. And then all the pins that the community has left behind are there, and you can trade 1 for 1. I think 1 gold for 1 gold, or, one normal enamel pin for another normal enamel pin. And the really cool thing is you get stuff from people who've been doing it from past years, who maybe have duplicates they didn't get rid of the year before. So there's a little bit of variety to it. Plus, Blizzard actually continually posts old, like, retired pins as well. So depending on when you go there, they're constantly refreshing the board so that it's not just like a bazillion Tyrandas because nobody liked her last year. It's like there's actually a constantly refreshing set of pins, and some of them are really rare, and some of them you can't get any other way anymore. So you kind of like line up, and then you go and you do your 1 for 1 trade, and everyone gets a trade, and then you have to line up again. So, but when I went last year, I feel like it might have even been during the concert. So there was no line. So I was just going whoosh around the circle and getting all the cool, like really rare stuff because no one else was there. So I was like, oh, that one's cool. Yes.
Nice. That's
you got a lot of steps in there too.
Oh yeah.
Nice work.
Yeah, they do make you line up again. You have to do your laps.
Oh wow. All right. Good to know. Well, maybe this year will be my first year trying that. I don't know.
It's more fun than I thought it was going to be. Okay. I was like, we'll just give it a try. And then I was like, wow, this is super addictive.
Maybe you can help me out. Maybe you can lead me through the process or something
Absolutely.
like that. All right, cool. So we've got Gizmo. We've got also some other stuff because as we were talking about, you could do the epic upgrades to the loot pack. So with the virtual ticket, you can get like $10 off of your own Blizzard pack, right? As we found out today. And or was it yesterday? Yesterday. Sorry. Again, I've been out of it all week. But you can get $10 off your a goodie bag if you buy the virtual ticket, and then you can also upgrade the stuff no matter what you're doing, right? I mean, is it just for the virtual ticket, or is it for either way? I think it's probably for either way, right?
Yeah, it's for either way, and that's going to contain 3 more blind badges, another collectible pin, another vinyl, an Overwatch backpack hanger, another one of those, and then another merchy pin. But those are, it looks like, only available with Epic upgrades or $150 purchases during BlizzCon merch sale.
Yeah, those merchy pins.
Yeah, and so if there's other stuff you want to get at the merch sale, looks like if you spend some money, you may potentially get this as well. But another cool thing with these, I believe this is the first time they're doing this. While supplies last, I believe you don't even have to have a virtual ticket to buy one of these goodie bags this year. You can just buy one off the store.
Right. But it'll be $45 instead of $35. If you buy the virtual ticket, you get $10 off. So you can get it for $35, but it's $45 normally, $70 for the epic upgrade with everything. And then you'll get all those different badges and stuff like that as well. So all those different Velcro badges for your pack. And that's another way to stand out. And then you won't need the poop emoji, although it's highly recommended by me.
Now everybody's doing a run.
Now
on
everyone's going to
Amazon
have
poops.
them, and you're not going to know whose bag is yours,
Right,
Pat. Come on.
Right. Well, that's why I
We're
have
planning.
the Stormtrooper and the ARG. So it's all good. Also, yesterday, as I was saying, they were talking about the virtual ticket quite a bit. All the guys from the actual live stream are got together and did another video talking about everything that's going to be happening for the virtual ticket, Jules.
Yes.
And what are some of the cool things that they talked about?
They actually been listening to the community and the feedback that we've been giving. One of the things that people have been saying about the virtual ticket is that it's great, it's awesome, but you're very linear. You can only see what they're doing at the main stages. And that in itself is probably the biggest change that they're making this year. They're actually adding 2 new stages, more coverage from the floor. So you're going to actually get to see, like, most likely the voice actor panels and the artist panels.
See that. Yep.
Right. And that is going to be huge because, like, I miss that every single year. Like, usually they do the voice actor panels, like, during when we're planning the CTR parties, like, setting up. And we miss it. And we don't get to see it because it's not on the virtual ticket that we can't watch when we get home.
Right.
And, there's just, like, I saw all this stuff on the internet from the Overwatch one last year. Like, they had all the actors there and they were all doing their lines. And I so wanted to see that. And I missed it. And so that's going to be a much more enhanced experience. They're doing like a full-on, like, Blizzard all access type of thing as well for BlizzCon, which is going to take you around to the different floors. They're going to go to the Darkmoon Fair. They're going to do all the things that are out there. Go to the testing floor and be able to do all of those things together with you. So if you're at home and you're not seeing this, you will have a much more immersive experience for the virtual ticket. And for those of us who are going to be there and not see a lot of this stuff, like, a lot of it, because that's what tends to happen to me. I want to go watch live esports. I want to go do that because, like, who cares about watching an esport VOD? You want to be there. You want to watch that whole thing, but then I'm going to miss that panel that I want to see. Yeah. So that's the big things that they announced for that. It was really, really cool.
I know that I'm not big on watching esports later. It's like, well, any sport, I don't want to see the recorded version. I want to watch it live. And really, when you go down to, if you guys are going to BlizzCon, make sure to go into an esports arena, whatever your favorite game is, and go and enjoy it because it is so different than what I expected. I mean, the energy is just palpable. It's incredible what happens down there. And you can just, like, I was sitting at, I think this was either last year or the year before. I think it might have been the year before when they were having all the technical issues for the Heroes of the Storm stuff.
It was both the past couple of years. They've had some issues, unfortunately.
But I mean, even just waiting there for something to happen, the energy just maintained throughout that entire thing. And I was really kind of blown away by that. I mean, people were up for those games, even when they weren't happening.
Yeah.
it's just very strange. So it was kind of cool. And so, yeah, if you're going down there, go see an esports match of some sort or stay there for the entire weekend. It's totally fine.
Just park there.
Yeah, and Gizmo, there was some other stuff that was mentioned as far as other things that they have in store for people, right?
Yeah. So they're going to be doing weekly pre-BlizzCon videos. I think the first one we had was yesterday. And of course, we're getting the in-game goodies this year with the virtual ticket. And I believe they've only announced 2 so far. And oh my gosh, are they incredible. Right. We are getting flying mounts, 2-player flying mounts in World of Warcraft. Yep. The Stormwind Sky Chaser or the Orgrimmar Interceptor. And these are miniature versions of the not flight path. I can't even think of what they're called. The Zeppelin. Yep. And what's the Alliance one called?
It's the
sky ship.
Sky ship.
Skyboat? I don't remember.
Skyboat.
We'll call it a sky ship.
I can't help you guys
Chaser.
at all.
I don't know.
No idea.
The ones in Northrend flying around.
Yes, but they're miniature ones of those, and they're absolutely incredible.
And Joss just totally throws the Alliance under the bus. Way to go, Joss.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I would love to help, but I have literally no idea.
Right. But I think this is super cool, and they haven't had a flying mount that they've given away for any BlizzCon stuff, or any mount, for any BlizzCon stuff since 2008, since the bear.
Yeah, the polar bear.
Yeah. And so for that, I'm going to give them the big applause and just say, way to go, Blizz. Thank you. This is all that we want. It's just very simple. Just give us a flying mount every year and we'll be fine.
Now just make flying easier to get, please, so I can use the mount. It's not bad, this expansion.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Actually, it's been pretty fun. And actually, so I did a little bit of recon as a Hordy this like last week. I was like,
what? You did what?
I did.
Welcome to the dark side.
I did. I have a troll druid. I don't know what level he's at. It's pretty low. Well, he's flying though, so it's fine. And because I have, and so he's like 101. I did the boost. I'm not proud of that.
Oh, I was like, yeah, that's really low level, Pat. How dare you?
Well, I've been playing around a little bit. But at least I can fly in all of the new stuff. And so I'm like, all right, cool. And now I'll be able to actually appreciate the Orgrimmar Interceptor mount from BlizzCon. So,
yes.
All right.
Aren't you special?
That's if I keep playing him. So question for you guys, just random question. What are you looking forward to most at BlizzCon? Because I know that we're all going. And we'll start with Joss. Joss, what do you normally look forward to the most when you go to BlizzCon?
Well, actually, this year is going to be totally different because normally my answer would be the Hearthstone Championships, but they're not doing them at BlizzCon this year.
Oh.
So they're doing a team invitational, which is kind of cool. I like that they're messing around with different formats, but it kind of frees me up to not be tied to the Hearthstone stage this year. So
Sure.
I don't actually really know what I'm most looking forward to. Probably just hopefully Warcraft expansion news. But I mean, in terms of actually being there on the floor, maybe I'll go watch some StarCraft this year for the first time because
Wow.
I always decide to go and watch StarCraft and then it's already over by the time I get there. But that stage is amazing. I feel like I need some time to experience it.
It's really cool. It totally is. I might do the same. Who knows? Jules, how about you?
Number one would be anything new announced about Heroes of the Storm, new heroes, new maps, anything new. Because they always have something to just kind of blow it out and make you go, what?
Sure.
And then I always look forward to the Saturday where I can sit and watch the finals for now it'll be HGC finals. So excited for that because that's when the CTR party is done. We have I'm free the entire day, and that's my favorite day. I love the party. Don't get me wrong, but then it becomes my time, and I'm like HGC finals. I'm so excited. I was traveling with my HGC backpack that was given to me as a gift by one of the my Blizzard friends, and I'm just looking at my backpack going HGC. I can't wait.
Nice. Yeah, and so the HGC stuff will be happening. That's always cool, and Heroes stuff is people just go nuts for there, and for good reason. So, Gizmo, you'll probably be doing a lot of the same stuff, I'm guessing.
I will. Yes, I'll be watching a lot of the HGC eSports. I do always make sure to go by and stop by the StarCraft stuff, even though I have no idea what's going on or what's happening.
Sure.
The stage is the second most incredible esports stage I've ever seen, only behind Dota 2 with their holograms that they have. But other than that, really just the voice acting panel is cool, but just kind of hanging out with people at the parties, seeing people I only see once a year is always a blast. But I think the HGC finals is going to be really exciting this year. Fnatic is going to try and bring it back to the western side this year. So
back to the dark side.
Roll 20. Roll 20. I want them to win it.
Oh boy. All right. And now on to the news. Yes, the news. Come on, placard. There you go. All right. Let's talk a little bit about World of Warcraft.
Let the suffering commence.
Well, I don't know about that. It's week 3 in Argus, right, Joss?
It is, yes.
So what do we get in week 3 for all this Argus stuff?
So we've got a new story, which is great. They've been totally killing it in this patch so far. I mean, obviously, you guys have talked about the week 1 amazing cinematic, but they've been totally killing it. It's everything I wanted out of going to Argus.
What has actually happened this week? What is it? What are some of the? Was there a big thing happening this week, like story-wise?
Well, you get access to the new dungeon, which is really cool, and you finally unlock the Netherlight Crucible. So this is the thing that lets you actually change your artifact, so you see the like balance between the light and the void and stuff. And they're really pushing that with this patch, is the whole like relationship between the light and the void and the fel and the balances that are occurring there.
Right.
So it's it's been a really, really, really interesting couple of weeks in World of Warcraft. And there's been some tuning and stuff, and there's been some maintenance, but mostly the big unlock this week was the dungeon.
Right. And have you played the dungeon?
I haven't had a chance to get in there yet, no.
Okay. Yeah, because I was able to unlock everything, but I wasn't able to get in there and mess about today, because today was really my only free day. So it was, but it's been fun, and you're right. There's a certain thing that's going on with the light and the void right now, and they're trying to figure out. Thist actually put the finger on it when she was on. She was talking about how the light and the void are not necessarily good or evil. They are just light and void. And so now we're seeing kind of this development happen, and it's I don't know where it's going, but I'm really interested.
They're very much like the Alliance and the Horde, right? Like there's not necessarily a good and evil. They're just opposites.
Right.
So it's kind of that balancing act that happens with the forces of the universe. And we've kind of, the way we've been brought up through World of Warcraft and with, priests and paladins, it's very much been this like light is good, light is our god. That's what our religion is based around, and the light, the light, the light. And now we're kind of seeing, well, maybe not. Like, what if there's, like I bet that there's people on the void side of things that see like Lothraxian, who's the Dreadlord who got, purified, air quotes. And it's like, well, was that against his will? Like, maybe from their side, the light is evil and the light is corrupting all of their void dudes. Like, it's so crazy and awesome. Like, we're seeing this side of the story now.
Yeah. And I went back because I started a Horde character and brought him up to level 100. I was like, you know what? I'm going to play through that whole beginning thing again as a Horde and really try to experience that from that other side and try to figure out what the story differences are and all that kind of jazz. And one of the things that I remember was, remember when you have the combined Horde and Alliance battle against the Fel when they first kind of land there and they're trying to figure out, you have Sylvanas and you have Rin kind of fighting up the mountainside, and you're kind of palling together for a little bit. And then you try to meet up with, what's his name? He's trapped in the bubble of Fel, and he's like, oh, the light will save me. And it doesn't. Kills him.
Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion.
Tyrion.
So thank you. Totally escaped my mind.
That dude in the bubble.
Yeah, that dude in the bubble,
Bubble 07.
But he's like, right, Bubble 07. So he is there, and he's like, the light will save me, and it doesn't. Right? That's not because it's good or bad. It's just because it's light versus void, and it's kind of one of those things. So it was interesting. And I had that in my mind when I was watching that again, and I just thought, oh, they've been playing at this all along. They really have. Mm-hmm. Sneaky Blizzard. Sneaky stuff. Anything else on Argus this week that you guys want to talk about at all? How is the Netherlight Crucible, Joss? Have you toyed around with that at all?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Well, it's only Thursday. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
I know, it all came out on Tuesday, and I feel like I've just been trying to get things done, but there's so much to do that
there
it's
really
just
is.
Like, yeah, and they've done a good job of like catch-up mechanics and streamlining and all the rest of it, but even then it's just like there's still, 3 different places to do world quests now. And then with every week, there's new unlocks, even in places you've already been. So it's not even linear. And it's just like, oh man, I'm all over the place.
Yeah. I hear
I feel like I need like a chore list of what to do every week.
Well, and plus
like,
you're
okay,
raiding every
that,
week.
But now, well, yeah, and raiding takes up a lot of my WoW time for sure. Yeah.
Right. So it does become tougher and tougher to like prioritize exactly what you want to do in game, and it is pretty tough. So I've been trying to figure all that stuff out myself, and putting the time in, but it's just I don't know if it's time well spent or not.
Well, I think from what I understand, and chat room saying it now, right, too, that the Netherlight Crucible is very min-maxy. Like there's very much like a right and wrong way to do it, and it's like you might as well just Google it. It's not necessarily super intuitive. It's kind of along the lines of reforging without actually being reforging.
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing you just need to look up, and I thought that's what they wanted to move away from. But now we're moving back apparently.
Well, and I heard
that's kind of turned me off a little too.
Yeah, and I heard that even as we were approaching the weekend last week, that they were still like trying to tune some of that stuff, and I'm like going, well, if it's not, I don't know. I just kind of get upset about stuff like that where it's, oh, just look it up and be done with it. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just kind of.
Then we're back to the days of just going to Ask Mr. Robot and doing your reforge and your, what gems do I need?
Going to Thoughtbot. Remember Thoughtbot?
Yes.
Those were
Old
the
school.
days. Yep.
Old school.
Yes. Hey, Jules, we also have a new charity pet, don't we?
We do. It's so awesome. Shadow the Fox. And this was kind of a surprise. It came out. Boom. Everybody was like, whoa, that's awesome. This little guy with the big ears switches between light and void colors. So you get like the 2 colors in one. And the $10 that you get, that you have to pay to buy him, will actually benefit the Red Cross disaster relief funds. And that's international as well. It's not just US. I think that's awesome. Way to go, Blizzard. It sounded like they threw this together super fast with the destruction of the 2 hurricanes in the United States. And there's been a lot of other things going on in the world. So you can go out there and you can go buy Shadow on the Blizzard store, and you can gift him if you want. You can, be like, hey, you want a little fox pet? A little fox pet. He's cool.
I've got a little fox pet. I got him right away.
You better have. My gosh.
It is very cute. And it is light and void. And again, light and void.
Again, yeah, the light and the void, yeah. And we're going to talk about some stuff with Hearthstone later. They're just across Blizzard. They're really pushing this light void thing.
Ooh, man, I tell you. And then it all comes back to the book. Well, I guess the 2 books that they have now for Warcraft, the encyclopedia of WoW, essentially. And right in those first few pages, you have that wonderful artwork that talks about all of the different magics that are involved with World of Warcraft. You have light, void, nature. I don't even know what they all are. Because,
Arcane and Fel.
See? You've got it. And so it's just kind of one of those things where you just look at that and you go, man, they were really thinking about that for a while when they came up with Legion.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. I really like it. Sorry. I got distracted a little bit. All right. Let's hey, and where can you get the charity pet? You can get it off of, I think you can get it off of the launcher, right?
Yes.
You can click it out on there.
You can get it. I think you can get it from in game too, because that's
it's
you
in
can
the
buy right
shop
from
too. Yeah.
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 So, and of course, you can go to the Battlenet, the website, and buy that from the Blizzard store.
Right.
And so there's lots of ways you can get them.
All right. Awesome. Well, let's leave World of Warcraft behind for a moment and hang out with Overwatch.
Oh, this is my jam.
That's right. So we have more on Junkertown. Is this right, Gizmo?
Yes. So they released a behind-the-scenes video on Junkertown, which, of course, we got the teaser for that at Gamescom. Mm-hmm. This new map, it's going to release on the 19th of this month, and it really is incredible.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah, next week.
Wow.
But
cool.
they just go in depth on kind of the layout, the different scenes that you're going to be seeing as you go through, kind of how they went about the sound design. They actually went out to like this deserted town, ghost town, to record some of the sounds. And I've always found that process really fascinating with how they come up with the in-game stuff.
Foley sound work is no joke, and it's just so amazing. So they'll do Foley stuff, they'll do field recordings, and then they'll make up their own stuff along the way and combine stuff. So cool. I love all of that so much. What are there any big things with the map that we need to know about, or is it just kind of more like fun stuff? I know that there was like a spinning turret at some point. If you were playing Bastion or whatever, you could sit on it and like
sit on it and spin.
Yep, sit on it and spin. That's right. Absolutely. And shoot people in the face.
Yeah, and that's towards the end of the objective, the payload, I believe, where you're actually in the arena where they had these gladiatorial fights in Junkertown, and it's kind of got the turn blades up there that they did mention, putting Torbjorn or Bastion on, along with some choke points in there. It really does look like a good map. Again, it's going to be hard to tell until you get in there to see where the good choke points and everything are. But they did put more emphasis on the Queen of Junkertown. I forget her specific name. Maybe it's just
I don't
Queen
think
of
she
Junkertown.
has it.
I think
She
it's just
doesn't
the
have
Queen.
Junkertown. Yeah,
I think it's just the Queen.
But they did put more emphasis on her, how she actually earned her title from being a really charismatic competitor in the gladiatorial ring. So I am still holding out hope that we will see her as a hero.
In the Thunderdome? Was it the Thunderdome?
Yes.
It must have been the Thunderdome. It's all Mad Maxy.
I was thinking it's got so much Mad Max feel to it anyway, that gritty, dirty, post-apocalyptic feeling to it. So I'm so excited to try this map. It looks so fun.
Right. And there's the new map, and then there's also an Art of Overwatch book. Right, Jules?
Yes, this is actually, it's not out yet. There was an article on GameSpot that did a preview of this thing. And if you're serious about Overwatch art, if you are really serious about it, you want to pay $100 to get this.
I love that stuff.
8-pound set. It's awesome. But it's not just like an art book for $100.
It's only sold by weight. It's
plus shipping and handling.
It's $7 a pound or whatever.
It's huge. This thing is amazing. I'm kind of excited by this, but they said that the $100 price tag includes it's more than just a hardcover book. It also has 3 art prints, although it only includes 2 display cases. It has a tracer slipcase for the book itself and a magnetically sealed box. So the whole box is magnetically sealed.
Wow.
So it's this really kind of just like this showpiece that you can put up, whatever. Like if you have your gamer wall, you have your gamer wall behind you. Right. That's like the perfect place for it.
I'm into this. You
do buy these, don't you?
Well, and it's kind of one of those things. Like I did this stuff for WoW. I'll do, like these. It's these deeper looks at these games that we love, which is why we're so attracted to them in the first place. I mean, because we were talking about cinematics last week, and the cinematics are amazing, right? I mean, these cinematics are just so super cool and fun and tell so much more about the game and all this kind of stuff. And then you go to an art book like this where it's probably going to be a lot of behind the scenes and a lot of other art that you just wouldn't see anywhere else. Why wouldn't you want to see that too? Sure. I want to see what the developers were like looking at as they were making the game. That's so cool.
Yeah, $100. I don't know if I'm going to go for it.
$100 is kind of a lot, but I still like the idea of the book.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, maybe you can break it up so you buy only 1 pound, and it's $12.
Buy 1 pound at a time.
Yeah,
there is good news.
Put it on layaway.
So The $100 is for the limited edition version.
Oh, is that right?
Includes those art forms.
All right, cool.
You can get the book itself for $50.
Oh, see, that's much better.
Both of those, the limited edition and the book, are set to release on October 24th.
Look at you with the research that I didn't do.
Right before BlizzCon. They are going for the BlizzCon hype, so that everybody will buy their stuff. So it's BlizzCon hype for the art book. It's BlizzCon hype for what were we talking about? I don't even remember.
Destiny
2. Yes.
BlizzCon hype, but not
There's
BlizzCon
actually
hype.
an Art of Hearthstone book that comes out, I think, October 15th. So, again, right around the same time.
Are you going for it?
Oh, that's so
Probably.
Cool. That's so cool.
Realistically. And I bet they'll have them for sale at BlizzCon too. So
that's so cool. Well, speaking of Hearthstone, let's dive into Hearthstone.
Well met.
Yes. And you have a show. It's called The Angry Chicken, don't you, Joss?
I do.
Wow. Imagine that.
statement.
And it's all about Hearthstone.
That it is.
Wow. It's a tiny little show that needs some amplification, so we'll do that on our show. Please tell everybody that you are on our show this week.
I absolutely will.
Awesome. So what's going on? What's going on in Hearthstone now? What's been going on the last week or so?
I think you guys have already talked the nerfs to death, so we won't go into that. But they just announced a really cool partnership with Twitch Prime. So if you guys are familiar with Twitch Prime, if you're an Amazon Prime member, then you can sign up for Twitch Prime, and then you get all kinds of bonus goodies from game companies. So they've partnered with Blizzard and specifically with Hearthstone. And starting, right now, from September 11th until October 10th, when you sign up for Twitch Prime, then you get card backs in Hearthstone, which is really cool.
Nice.
But these card backs are totally different than any card backs you've had in the past because, and I don't know, I think they totally missed a naming opportunity here, but Octoberbrawl, I don't know why it isn't just Octoberbrawl, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's Octoberbrawl, but all one word.
Okay.
Is basically two teams, a light team and a void team.
I see what's going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are facing off in show matches over the next month or so. And by playing in Hearthstone and winning ranked games with a card back equipped, then that essentially gives your team like points towards cards in their actual matches because they start with free to play accounts. They get a certain number of card packs each week, and you as a player can influence your team by giving them more chances to get more card packs, basically. So, and then there's going to be a show match at TwitchCon on October 21st. So that's going to be like the finals.
Hey, are you going to that at all?
Unfortunately, no. We just bought a house. So.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I will actually be there this year. This will be my first time at TwitchCon, so that'll be fun. I'm gonna have to stop by, see what's going on.
I was hoping to go, but yeah, it wasn't in the cards for this year, but hopefully next year because it's getting bigger and bigger, and now they're starting to really, double down on a lot of these streamed events. So it's going to be a really cool event, and there's 6 streamers that are involved. So you've got your Team Void is Dog, Tice, and Jackie Chan, and Team Light is Krip Reynad and Ali Straza. And when I saw this, I was like, they got the teams mixed up because Tice is like the nicest guy I've ever met and seen and streamed, and he should not be on Team Void.
But remember, Light and Void is not good
Void
and evil.
Void is not necessarily evil.
So there. Mm-hmm. Now, and Bed Broad has been making some comments this week. Well, actually, there were comments made about all the different nerfs going on this week or for the upcoming patch, right? And
yes, which hits September 18th.
So next week.
4 days, yeah.
So what were people saying, and how did Ben Broad counter on that?
Well, there's been Reddit is a thing.
Reddit is a thing that we need to immediately shut down for all the rage that is going on right now.
It can get very ragey and very echo chambery, and when one person says something, people tend to pile on. And the Hearthstone community, I don't know, because I don't pay attention to the Reddits for the other Blizzard games, but because the Hearthstone is literally my job, I watch Reddit really closely. And it seems like the Hearthstone team has it a lot harder than a lot of other Blizzard teams because they just get ripped apart anytime they attempt to communicate. So the original change to Fiery War Axe that they were talking about, they basically said they changed the mana cost instead of what the card did because that was a less disruptive change. So people on Reddit felt that was like insulting their intelligence. Like, oh, we can't even read our own cards. Like, come on, Blizzard, make an actual good balance change. Don't just do something because it's more obvious. Like, so there was a lot of rage around a lot of the reasons that were given for the nerfs. And it makes me feel really bad because I like when the Hearthstone team tells me what they're thinking so that I know that they didn't just like pick the first easiest thing, that they actually gave it some thought and that they actually said like, okay, here's our top 5 things that we were thinking of doing to Fiery War Axe, but we chose this one. Yeah. I like seeing their insight there. So Ben Brode did give some comments and said basically that they wanted to make intuitive changes. And so they made the change that they did. They weren't trying to insult anyone's intelligence. And yeah, he just like, I feel bad that he even needs to make these statements.
Right.
You know, like clearly Blizzard's not actually telling you you're dumb, guys. Calm down.
Well, not to your face. No, I'm just kidding. But here's what I will say about all of this stuff, because I think that we've seen this time and time again throughout all the different games throughout the history of gaming, is that if you come down on a game or a developer or you know, on a team for trying to talk to all of us, and if there's enough people that come down on them, they're going to resist talking. They're not gonna want to open up their mouth.
That's the thing that I'm so afraid of, because they've said in the past, like it's almost been like waves of communication out of Team 5, because it's like they communicate, and the more they communicate, the more flack they get. And then they stop communicating for a while, and then people give them flack for not saying anything. And then they come out and say like, look, we said something and all you guys did was use it against us. So now we're not saying anything. You'll get your expansion when you get your expansion.
Right.
Like, see ya.
Right.
And I don't want that again.
and this did actually happen with WoW to a certain extent. I mean,
it did.
Because there was a time, it was Warlords, so it was kind of a weird time anyway.
Oh.
But I mean, they did kind of peel back on all of their communications, and they moved everything over to, you know, the Twitter account WoW Devs instead of developers individually trying to say stuff. And they were trying different things with their communications because it just wasn't working for the developers themselves to go out and say, hey, we're changing this. And I think I'm looking at Brian Halenka on this one, because I know that he was particularly berated during Warlords for PvP stuff.
Not undeserved.
Maybe, but at the same time, he's still trying to communicate.
Well, the criticism, I think in that case was deserved, but I will agree that especially when they were all split out into individual developer accounts and they weren't just under the WoW Devs umbrella.
Yeah.
I mean, then you get opened up, and this is why I can't believe we're still getting like Ben Brode and Young Woo and Ixar like tweeting from their personal accounts, because the amount of just like hatred and like awful things that get said to these people, that's never ever called for. So no. There's a way to criticize without being disrespectful, and that's the line that I feel a lot of people cross. So I'm surprised that we haven't gotten like just a Hearthstone devs account, to be honest.
Yeah, and I really do warn people against that, because that is, I mean, like, the bitterness has got to end at some point. I mean, you can't just throw poop on whatever they say and expect them to just want to come back. It's ridiculous. You don't want to just throw poop. Nope.
That's your.
Just want to put it on your backpack.
What if it's a stormtrooper? Yeah.
And you say right,
and then you go yeah, exactly. Exactly. So anything else happening with Hearthstone these days, Joss, or are we just waiting for all of this stuff to kind of come in So
that's pretty much it. We've got the America's Championships are this weekend. So
Awesome.
We had the APAC Championships last weekend. So they're kind of wrapping up their last call stuff to figure out who's actually going to qualify for HCT, which is their big end of the year tournament.
Right.
We don't have a final date for that yet. Like I said, normally it's at BlizzCon, but it's moved. It's not going to be at BlizzCon this year. They're trying to align the Hearthstone eSports a little bit more closely with their Hearthstone standard year, which has started generally in April or May. So we're probably going to see it in like a January, February kind of a time. So
gotcha. And just a question just for you, since you're the Hearthstone expert here.
Oh, I hope I know the answer.
No, but do you have hope that these nerfs will actually do what they're intended to do for balance within the game?
I think so. I mean, the biggest one I think is Innervate, and it's just because it's been an auto include in Druid decks since the beginning of Hearthstone time,
right? And
it makes them super powerful regardless what the archetype is. So I think that the change to Innervate, although it's not the change I would have gone with, I think the change is going to be better. Period. But I think some of the other ones open up some design space, and I'm glad to see that they are open to changing things a little bit more frequently, because there were times when we were waiting months and months and months for changes. We just had a new expansion that launched, I think, like about 5 weeks ago, and we're already getting changes to cards that were released in that expansion, because Spreading Plague is actually going to be changed as well. So I like that they're open to a little bit more kind of like fluid changes, as opposed to saying like, no, changes come with expansions or, whatever. So, I mean, it's a digital card game. They should take advantage of that fact.
Yeah, exactly. So why not? And it does seem like they're really trying to make sure that the early game is a better experience.
Yeah, a little bit less snowbally, I think, is what they're going for, which is a good thing.
Right on. Right on.
It sucks when you're playing a game that's decided by turn 2.
When a druid plays a card, whatever. I'm out.
Yeah.
I've got better things to do. I've got better things to do. All right. Let's talk a little bit of Heroes of the Storm.
I can dig that.
Gizmo, you have a show, and it's called Lords of the Storm, and it's all about Heroes of the Storm.
That I do. We do talk plenty of heroes there.
Look at that. It's like I planned this to talk about things that you guys know stuff about.
Yes, I had no idea this was coming. It's crazy.
No, it's the Battlenet news. I had no idea that one of the games would pop up. So what is going on with Heroes of the Storm lately?
Well, we've got some interesting stuff. It has been a little bit kind of in a slow point since KT Kel'Thuzad was released, who has been out for a little over a week now.
I'm glad that you are doing both KT and Kel'Thuzad so that people can catch up.
Yeah, I'm trying to help the transition here. It's
right.
Kel'Thuzad is the original KT people. It's all right.
Right.
But there has been a tweet that came out yesterday from the Heroes of the Storm Twitter account that says, "The Nexus is in crisis. Join us as we investigate tomorrow during HGC, which the matches start at 9 a.m. If you're listening to this podcast later on in the week, this stuff will probably already be out." But there was a little picture with some cool, like, robotic, weird swords stuck in the ground, a big robotic arm, and some snow. So we don't know if this is going to be a hero announcement. We don't know if this is going to be just skins, a map, or what. My prediction here is that we're going to see a new variant skin because of the swords, and it's going to be like a robot or superhero skin that we have a couple of those themes going in game.
Nice.
As well as, I think, potentially a new map, Overwatch map. They have the snowy map there. People have been saying because the big robotic arm. It's not a Doomfist looking arm, so I don't think they're announcing a hero.
Okay.
So should be interesting what we see there. The other reason I don't think we're going to be getting a hero, Blizzard has announced that both Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch are going to be at EGX, which is UK's biggest gaming event. That is September 21st through 24th. And I think that is going to line up probably where they'll make their next hero announcement.
Okay.
So yeah, the fact we probably wouldn't get 2 weeks in a row of hero announcements.
Sure. So, Jules, I know that you play a lot of heroes.
Yes.
What do you think it will be, or what do you want it to be? What do you want them to come out with next?
Well, we don't have a new hero to look forward to right now. We don't. So we have to, like, I feel like Pollyanna right now, but we have to. It feels like we have to have another hero to look forward to be excited about and hyped up. And
I don't know. I mean, the hype was real for KT. For KT, I mean, everybody was all in on that, and I have not felt such hype from our community as when they talked about that, and we're talking about everything that he does and blah blah blah, and everybody was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally there. I'm buying this guy. I don't care." You know, it's
my
great.
personal like, here's my wish list that they're gonna do an Oktoberfest like event of some sort. That'd be really fun.
Octoberbrawl. No.
Octoberbrawl.
Give at least one of the. Okay, so Gizmo, you got to help me with this. Which one of the characters would wind up wearing lederhosen?
Oh man,
I'm trying to think of who that would be. It would be Murray, of course, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be one of the dwarves for sure.
But who will be
Pumpkin Spice?
Who's gonna be Pumpkin Spice?
Tracer.
Well, we already have.
I was gonna go Lunara.
Pumpkin head.
Lunara is Pumpkin Spice.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my gosh, Pumpkin Spice Lunara with the orange hair and green tendrils, and that'd be really kind of funny, actually.
Oh yeah.
Joss, what do you want it to be? This tease. What do you think it will be?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of the way that Heroes does skins now, so I'm kind of hoping it's a map tease. I'm not necessarily in the same camp as Jules. I think maybe it's just because I don't play like all the time every day, but I feel like I'm almost getting to the point of being overwhelmed with the amount of choices of heroes that I have in Heroes of the Storm, and I feel like I didn't even get to the point where I understood Garrosh before KT was out, and then I was just like, oh my god, I'm overwhelmed. Too much. Okay, done. So I think I would like, my play experience would be more mixed up if I had more maps to play on as opposed to more heroes to play with, because I tend to tend towards tanks, and I have enough tanks that I'm happy right now. So I'd be fine just with more ways to play in like more maps, I think is kind of what I'm looking forward to right now in Heroes.
Sure. And Gizmo, I'm not sure exactly how balance is right now in the game as far as heroes go, but is there a need for any particular type of hero in the game?
So people are still wanting more supports, especially right now, but as well as tanks. But they have talked in some of the interviews with Alan DeBeery at Gamescom. He did actually say they're getting to a point now with KT, that was their 71st hero to release.
Oh, wow.
That they are thinking about.
Dude, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
The hero release is probably potentially going to slow down a bit. Right now, it's been every 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
So if we stayed on that, it would make sense that we may potentially get a tease for tomorrow for that event, whatever that was. But if they're continuing with, on the fact saying that they're going to slow down, it would make sense that they would wait until EGX for that announcement. And just from the tease we got, the only thing I can see potentially with that big robot arm is maybe a Firebat. People have been talking about a potential leak, which I've been wanting in the game for a long time. But I don't know what Firebat's arms look like close up. I just know it's a big dude in a metal suit. But yeah, it's getting to the point definitely where they could potentially slow down, like add another week between hero releases. So
right, until they get to 100, and then they'll slow it down by another week.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then Joss will be like, I am so done with this game. There's so many characters.
No,
to
then
pick from.
I'm just gonna get Diablo to like level 100 and never play anything but him, and that's just gonna be
Diablo's
how I
cool.
play heroes.
I like Diablo.
Diablo's bae.
I like Diablo and I like ETC. Those are my tanks. So so there. Gizmo, there's also something else going on with the AI. Is that right?
Yes. So one other thing, they're making some really big changes to the way AI works in the game. It's not going to be as big of an impact, being this is a PvP game mainly, but it is going to impact the AI games as well as when there's disconnects in game. So they're doing under the hood of the AI. They're making a bunch of changes as far as how quickly the AI can respond. They're going to I don't know what they had before, but kind of a decision tree of how the heroes or the AI thinks, and it's going to make them respond in different ways. They're going to actually be able to stutter step. From some of the
Even
gifts
I can't
showing,
do that.
Yeah. From some of the gifts they're showing, like there's, Stitches is making a really good, friendly hook play. And this is actually, Garrosh was the first hero in the game to have this AI, and KT does as well. And there have been people notice that those AI are much, much stronger. So kind of the question becomes is, as far as impacting PvP, is are they going to be able to scale this, say in Hero League, depending on what rank you're at? Because if the AI is good enough, does that actually put your team at an advantage if, say, you're in the lower leagues? So now you have a gold AI playing in Bronze League for some reason, and it's helping your team. But overall, it's, I think it's a really good change. AI could use some difficulty modifications for experienced players wanting to test out new heroes, but not necessarily straight into PvP. The AI is kind of not really a great place to see what heroes are capable of, as well as just decision making for, I don't know if you've ever played an AI game on, say, Braxis Holdout.
Okay.
That is the worst experience in the world, trying to herd cats to the 2 objective points. It is not happening. So yeah, overall, I think it's really good changes, and just it's good that they're able to go in depth on this old StarCraft system and kind of show some good potential for just future changes they can make outside of the AI.
Cool. Very cool. Anything else happening heroes wise?
Not at the moment.
All right. Let's see. There's not much going on in Diablo. I didn't see anything in StarCraft 2, did you? I didn't see anything. All right. So we will move on to eSports.
Blizzard games? That's so old school.
Yep.
Oh.
So this week, actually starting tomorrow, I'm excited to see how this is going to play out, guys. We have the Mythic Dungeon Invitational. It starts tomorrow, while I am editing this show. So it will be 8 teams from China, Asia Pacific, Europe, and the Americas. They're all going to compete over the next 3 weekends to get their placement, essentially, right? And then they're going to go to the semifinals and then the finals. And it's a big tournament. And I'm kind of looking forward to this. Joss, what's your take on the Mythic Dungeon Invitational? Is this something that you're going to watch, or is this something that you're interested in?
I feel like this kind of a thing is going to be a really good way to get me into watching WoW esports, because I've tried in the past to watch the PvP arena stuff because I love PvP in the game, but where I've only played 2 or 3 classes really because I came to WoW so late, I have no idea what the hell is going on.
Right.
So I feel like this is a really good event for them to do, because the PvE content is going to let you kind of like see all the different classes in a little bit more of a focused setting, I guess. I find arena, everyone's always running all over the place and being all crazy because they're trying to avoid each other, right? And avoid all the abilities.
I always call it like the fastest like chess match ever, right? Because they're all running around and you have no idea. You know that a lot of things are happening, but keeping up with everything is just really, really hard. Even with
the commentators, like,
right.
They're like, and this is, and I'm like, what?
Everybody's going a million miles an hour and you're not seeing the health bars move all that much.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden someone's just dead and you're like, well, how the F did that happen?
Right. Exactly. So right. And so I am kind of with you. The Mythic Dungeon stuff could be a lot better, because then you could just see stuff melt along the sides and go, man, these guys are really moving fast through this thing. And you have kind of more of a direction in which you're going to.
Exactly.
So.
And it's also going to feature things that we're familiar with already. Like, we're going to know these dungeons if we're like, obviously, if you're a player of World of Warcraft, sure. You're going to know these dungeons, you're going to know these bosses, you're going to know these fights. So then you can kind of like almost push that to the side and just focus on watching the players. And it kind of gives them a better backdrop to showcase their abilities, I think, than PvP does. And I think it's going to be a really good stepping stone to watching WoW Arena PvP, because you're going to get to actually see the classes, see them a little bit spread out, see them kind of standing there and get some commentary about what it is that they're actually doing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more abilities that are used in PvP, a lot more stuns and things like that. But if you know basically what a class does heading into watching Arena, then you can look for, you know, like, oh, I see that's a Blizzard. I know what that cast is. I know what that's doing. You know, like it just seeing the visuals in a PvE setting, I think is going to do just leaps and bounds for viewership in the Arena PvP that's going to be coming up at BlizzCon.
Sure. And I know that they've been doing a lot of stuff with animations and spell effects and stuff like that as well. And I think all of that stuff will help kind of sort out what people are watching with what is actually happening. Because I know that some of the animations and spell effects were very similar to each other. And it was like, okay, that druid is casting a spell. I'm not sure which
Something
one.
with green things
Right.
and leaves.
And a leaf is flying through the air. Oh, what could that be? Who knows? So yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see kind of how they're redoing some of this stuff to make it a little bit easier to tell exactly what's going on. And I think it will help both of these things, both the Mythic Dungeon Invitational and WoW PvP. And I know that there's been a lot of WoW PvP being played lately. And so it's been a lot of fun to kind of watch that kind of on a weekly basis. And Blizzard has actually stepped up when it comes to WoW eSports coverage for threes. But now we're going to see this Mythic Dungeon Invitational. And I mean, for people like me that have a show about raiding in World of Warcraft plus other games, right? This is amazing. This is like my jam right here. So it's really, really cool. And I should probably play.
Oh, this is my jam.
Sure. But I'm really kind of looking forward to this and seeing it, because I know that like when we watch the raid panel at BlizzCon, that was always kind of like a letdown of sorts. It's too many people, you couldn't see what was going on, and then usually it was kind of a blowout. So this hopefully will prove to be a lot more competitive and a lot easier to watch. So should be good. Jules, there's also something going on with Overwatch League, right?
Yes, we've got 2 new teams coming in for Overwatch League. Announced that Houston and Philadelphia are going to be the spots for 2 new teams. Philadelphia, Blizzard sealed the deal with Comcast Spectacor. Spectacor. Thank you.
All right.
It's probably because it's 12:30 at night.
Sure.
This is the owner of the Philadelphia Flyers
Right.
as well. And then the Texas Rangers co-owner Neil Liebman has purchased a spot for Houston. There is
Awesome.
also rumor that the Milwaukee Bucks might be getting into this too. It's just that's a rumor, but confirmed for sure is going to be Houston and Philadelphia.
That is so cool. I'm so glad that these big teams are moving in.
When's Minneapolis? Like, come on.
Well,
Can Canada get one first, please?
Yeah,
I mean,
Toronto.
come on.
Toronto.
Yes, Toronto, please.
Toronto will get one, and I'm just waiting to see what the mascot will be.
Oh, we're gonna be a moose. Come on, or a beaver, one of the two.
Right.
Like
whatever's on the money. What is on the money these days?
the queen.
The queen.
We could be the Toronto Queens.
There you go.
Love it.
That would be awesome for me. That would be really great. Sorry, Toronto. And actually, that's not been announced. I'm just letting everybody know. That was just. But Toronto is probably most likely, right? I mean,
I would think so. Toronto or Vancouver, possibly Ottawa, maybe Montreal. Who I think would be the big ones.
Vancouver is another one. They could use a team, because I mean they just drop south and they're right in California, and so then
Yep.
it's perfect. Same time zone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Anything else esports that people want to chat about? Because I think that's about it for the show. Look at that.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff this week. Lots of BlizzCon stuff. Plus, we had a extra couple of days, so I'm sure next week we will have a very tiny show. Nope.
Yeah.
We probably won't. It'll be fine.
I need to tack on something about the BlizzCon stuff that we forgot earlier, though.
Sure.
It has not been established for those of us who have tickets to BlizzCon how the Epic upgrade for the goodie bag works. So we're all getting a goodie bag as part of our BlizzCon ticket. but they haven't talked about how that's going to happen. And it's something we forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. Hopefully by Tuesday, there'll be more information on like how a BlizzCon attendee could actually get the upgrade.
And guess what'll happen if they do that? We'll say it on the next Convert to Raid.
Exactly. Exactly.
But until then, I'll play this music and we'll go around the room and see what's going on with y'all and how people can get involved and how they can find you. Gizmo, why don't you start us off? Anything fancy going on this week?
This week, now we have. I mean, not tomorrow, because yesterday
you had a show. Yesterday you had a show, though.
Yeah. Yesterday we had a show. It was a great episode. We actually interviewed Michael Udall again from Gale Force eSports. We had him on the show a while back. We actually pre-recorded this. He was on his way to a boot camp from Arizona to LA. He pulled over for the interview. He's a super awesome guy. Really great insights into not only the North American region right now, but kind of Western overall. It's just a really great interview, so make sure and check that out. Cool. But otherwise, we are Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central.
And that's Lord of the Storm.
Yes, twitch.tv/Lords of the Storm.
Lords of the Storm. And you're at Gizmozord on pretty much everything. Jules, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter at JulesRPG. You can find my Blizzard Entertainment show, which is Tauren Think Tank, which is recording usually on Thursdays at 8 o'clock at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. We just recorded one last night, so it's out on the feeds. You can listen.
Nice.
And Jocelyn and I do a show as well. It's called Slaying Demons. And so if you like the two of us together, you can get more of that and check that out on Jocelyn's channel. It's twitch.tv/JossPlays.
There you go. And Joss, you've got many shows. You've got a lot of shows.
I do.
And streaming and stuff, right?
Very much so. All the shows that I do can be found over at amove.tv. So that is The Angry Chicken, which is the Hearthstone podcast, For Azeroth, which is the Warcraft podcast, as well as The Gamers In, which is my general gaming podcast. All are over on amove.tv. Streamed live on twitch.tv/amovetv as well. And if you want to see more of me, I stream video games over on my personal channel, which is twitch.tv/JossPlays, which is also my Twitter handle.
And she also talks really fast. Wow, that's amazing. You're really good. You're really good at that
I've done it once or twice.
Right, probably so. And let's just say you can find me at Pat Crane over on Twitter. And then I'll bail on that music and I'll play this one. There we go. You can always join us with any conversation you wish. If you have a conversation topic, if you have a joke, let us know. You can always email us, convertraid@gmail.com. You can call and leave comments and questions on our raid line or jokes. 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. And make sure to join the Bazuba Guabo Nation by heading over to convertraid.com. That's where we have show downloads, Discord info, video, audio, guild stuff. I mean, like all the things that we're all about. They're over at convertraid.com, so go over there. We're also on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and around the internet. Convert to Raid. It's produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends on the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. That's going to be it for the show. Joss, thanks for dropping in and saying hey to everybody. Gizmo, Jules, as always, thank you very much for being a part of the show. Jules, from the Garden State as well.
Garden State.
Yeah, and whispering so that nobody will wake up.
Yeah.
That's it. Twitch folk, thank you so much for dropping by. No matter where you're listening to us from, thank you guys for picking us up. We really do appreciate it, as always. And that is going to be it for us. So from the entire crew here at Convert Trade, we'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.